Hey my loves! So before I get into this video, I just want to say that I'm not doing my pregnancy update this week, and that is only because I'm trying to focus my time on getting the house ready and getting ourselves ready for baby, and she could come really at any time. I am, 34, 35 weeks along, so trying to focus my time on that. So what I'm going to be doing is doubling up weeks moving forward. So this week I'm not going to have one, but next week I will be having one, and then 2 weeks from then, and so on and so forth until obviously baby is here. But I know you guys are still really curious about my baby bump, so what I'm going to do on the Wednesdays that I don't have a pregnancy update, I'm going to be posting a picture of my baby bump on Instagram, and I will put all the links to my Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff in the info bar below in case you guys are interested in that on the weeks that I don't have an update for you guys. So thank you so much for understanding, guys. And this week instead, what I wanted to do was a video that is actually very highly requested and something that I wanted to talk to you guys about for a while now, and it's all about eating for two. Because I'm gonna be honest, when you're first pregnant, you're like, yes, excited, there's a baby. Don't lie to me, I know exactly what your next thought is. I am eating everything. Oh, I just scared baby. She's moving around a lot. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell, I was just very excited about being pregnant. And while every preggo takes advantage of the cultural stereotype, I wanted to be as smart as possible with this being the first pregnancy, and just remember that I am eating to have the nutritional ingredients to help grow another human being. I get a ton of comments from you guys commenting about how I'm just belly and I haven't gained any weight everywhere else. And I mean, part of that is genetics. As my mom, I didn't do anything. Part of it is just being aware of what I'm eating. So what I wanted to do is walk you through just a couple of tips that have really helped me, and then kind of walk you through what I would typically eat in a day. So first of all, how many calories do you actually need in pregnancy? Because I think there's kind of a misconception about kind of eating for two. You're not eating for two adults here. You're eating for another very, very small human being. If you are pregnant, please talk to your doctor about this before kind of following any of this advice. This is very kind of generic terms. It will differ depending on if you're overweight to begin with or underweight to begin with, or what your specific needs are. First trimester, you actually don't really need any extra calories than what you're currently consuming because baby is so small. Second, I keep wanting to say semester. It's not a semester, this isn't school. Trimester, you actually need about 300 extra calories and then about 400 extra calories for the third trimester. Put that in perspective, that's about equivalent to an extra sandwich, not kind of like a gallon of ice cream. Important tip for me was just planning ahead. I get really bad acid reflux. I actually got it before I was pregnant, but I'm getting it even more now that I am pregnant. So I have to remember to eat more frequently and much smaller meals, which can be really annoying because I'm a really lazy person, and so I want to make one great meal instead of like 8 okay meals. So what I try to do is find all of my favorite healthy options and have them at the ready so that I can kind of snack on them throughout the day. I'll break up my lunch into 2 separate meals and have one at noon and another one at 2 or something like that. And it just makes it a lot easier instead of waiting until you're like starving. I follow the 80-20 rule, and this applies to whether or not I'm pregnant, and I try and eat really healthily 80% of the time, and 20% of the time I don't really care. Do not let yourself get too hungry, because this is when you reach for all the candies and chocolates and the pop and whatever else that's out there that's quick and easy to grab. Instead, just kind of try and maintain your blood sugar level as much as you possibly can. But also making sure that you have snacks at the ready is really important. Bringing them to work with you, having them at your desk, having them just ready for when you do get really hungry, I think is really important. And lastly, make sure to drink lots of water. And I know that that's kind of like one of those rules that everyone says. It's like, drink lots of water, then you won't be hungry. I mean, that's a lie. Like, if you are actually hungry, you will still be hungry after. Sometimes we get confused and we think that our thirst is actually our hunger, but it's actually we're just really thirsty. And so having a glass of water beforehand, whether it's lemon water or throwing a cucumber slice in there or an orange slice or something in there, having that water and letting it sit for about 10 minutes or so, and then if you're still hungry, having something, I think for me at least really helps. Plus, as a preggo, you need to be extremely hydrated at all times. It helps to stave off stretch marks, and it's also really important for babies. Okay, so now on to what I actually eat in a day. So first of all, for beverages, what I have is usually orange juice, and I try and have the really, really good stuff. I mean, I don't have a juicer here. I mean, that's obviously the better option, but I try and buy the healthiest orange juice that I possibly can that has the most nutritional value to it. I have lemonade because I love lemonade, and water. And that's pretty much all I drink. I do have a cup of tea in the morning, but that's it. So keeping that in mind, that's what I kind of drink throughout the day. So for breakfast, I usually have a Raisin Bran with 2% milk and strawberries cut up in it. And then I'll usually have lunch because I've been having a lot of difficulty sleeping over the last little while, so I've been waking up a lot later than I normally would. So I have breakfast and then I have lunch, and then I'll have like 2 snacks, dinner, and then another snack afterwards. So that's typically how my day works. What I'll have for lunch is what I call like a salmon melt. So I'll have canned salmon and I'll eat about like half to 3/4 of the container. I'll put a little bit of mayo in just to kind of bind everything, pickles and celery, and I'll mix that all up. I'll put some old cheddar on top, put it on rye bread, and I'll have that for my lunch. And what I'll do with the extra stuff is I will have that for a snack the next day or the day after that, and have that with crackers and grapes or something like that. So I have a snack at the ready as well. And 2 different types of snacks that I absolutely love right now. Number 1 is homemade guacamole and tortilla chips. Love, love, love that. And number 2 is old cheddar cheese with grapes and whole grain crackers. Those are 2 of my favorite kind of go-to snacks that I go for. And then for dinner, I made a bolognese sauce recently in the slow cooker, so I have tons of leftovers. So I have that with whole grain pasta. I will have a little bit of sour cream in there and some Parmesan on top, and that's sort of my dinner. And then my last snack of the day is never healthy at all, and that's usually an ice cream cone or a couple of, popsicles or homemade cookies or something like that. I like to end my day with something unhealthy. That's just me. I don't really eat unhealthy during the day, and at night I will have something that's sugary and sweet, and that's just the way that I work. So that's everything for this video. I hope you guys found it helpful. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. In the comment below, let me know what your favorite snack is, whether or not you're pregnant, because I love getting new ideas for snacks and meals and things like that. I will see you all again next week for a new pregnancy update. I love you girls so much. Mwah.